So I don't often read middle grade novels. Once in a while I do. This one that we're going to talk about today, Into the Gray by Kathleen Palm, was described as kind of like Coraline and the Halloween Tree. And while I've never read the Halloween Tree, I've read Coraline and I love it. I love Neil Gaiman. So that got me. And the cover with the cat and these eyes, it's freaking adorable. So that got me too. And it sounded pretty good and weird, and I love weird and spooky stuff. So this was right in my wheelhouse. This is from Spooky House Press. They are an indie publisher, and they've been putting out some really great books. Prior one to this that I read from them was The White Horse by Rebecca Harrison, also really awesome. So this book is actually pretty big. It was over 300 pages. I read the ebook, and it was, I think, 300 and something. I don't remember the exact number. It's such a good story. It's whimsical and weird and emotional, and it covers the theme of how it's okay not to be okay. And I don't care what age you are, we all need to hear that sometimes because life is hard. There are a lot of speed bumps that you hit as you go through this thing that is weird that we call life. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, and this book is great for that. It's a message that kids from 1 to 92 or older need to hear. I think this book, even though it's middle grade, any age group could read it and really take away something from it. It's really fantastically written. The story centers around these two girls who are adopted, Ember and Ash. Ember being the older one and Ash is younger. They live with their moms and they move away from where they used to live. Ash, the younger girl, loses her pink kitty, which was given to her by her birth mother, and that's all she has left of her mom, and she's really, really, really upset that she's lost this and can't find it. And so Ember makes a vow that she's gonna find Pink Kitty for Ash so that everybody can be happy again, because if she finds Pink Kitty, it's gonna solve this. When they move into the new house, Ember's like super into like loving spooky stuff. She likes scary movies, and the house they move into is kind of creepy and weird and all that good stuff. Her room's got this like weird crack in the ceiling, and shortly after they move in, she meets this girl, Shelly, and they're standing outside of the house. She's looking up, and there's this like weird tower in the house that they have not been able to figure out how to get into. Maybe it's boarded up. Who knows? They don't know how to get in there. She starts looking around trying to figure out how to get in there, and she finds this place that seems to be an in-between place. It's not in our reality, it's in a different reality, and somewhere between, and it's nowhere. And this seems to be this place where lost things go. And so she finds nowhere, but she also finds a interesting tug of war of what is wrong and right and who needs stuff, need versus want. And so she wants to try to find Pink Kitty in nowhere. Will she find Pink Kitty in nowhere? Well, you're gonna have to read it to find out. But the topics, it covers love and loss and family and grief and depression, and these characters, you feel their emotional trauma and the stuff that happens with them. It's sad, but it also has these beautiful glimpses of light and learning how to let go, to realize, it's okay not to be okay all the time, because we have to go through these things. What does not kill us makes us stronger. It was a really beautiful read. So there's weird and magical elements to it, and there's this strange place called Nowhere with these weird entities that are there. That's all I'll say about that. And it has that Coraline vibe for sure, but it's its own animal. It's touching, it's emotional, and the message that Into the Gray brings to the table is such a beautiful and powerful one. It touches the heartstrings with like this melancholy eloquence, and it's interlaced with threads of hope and love and letting go of the things that hold us in these dark places so that some light can start to come on, shine on down. The writing was great. The character Ember has some funny little catchphrases that she says. So, maybe you'll find yourself saying frickety dizzle after you read this. I don't know. I may have said it a few times. If you like middle grade and fantasy and kind of spooky, weird, supernatural books, Into the Gray, it's absolutely fantastic. It has a beautiful message. And as I said before, I don't care what age you are. Sometimes we all need to realize that it's okay to not be okay. Sometimes we need to get help when we're not okay, whether it's professional or just, sometimes it's not as intense, talking to friends or family or someone, and not just like staying, in your own dark little cavern and bottling everything up. If you are a fan of spooky and weird books, the next video coming up will be another spooky and weird book. So stick around, check it out. And if you had fun hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.